Hello, family. It's Teresa. 31 December is today's date on Caesar's calendar. And a little bit about me, real quick. The first time somebody told me I should write a book was 25 years ago. I've decided to start writing that book. I was a little hesitant in the past because I didn't want to be called crazy again. I didn't want to, offend anybody. So I'm kind of over it now and ready to share some stuff that you could say I learned in a prior life or several prior lifetimes. But today I want to focus on holi-days versus holy days. So holi-days, holidays, are the inversions of holy days. Holidays are issued by one of two organizations, the Religare or the Mente. Religare is where we get the word religion, or church, you could say. The church gives us our holidays. The definition of religare is to tie up, to bind, or to hold back from the truth. And then the other character on this stage who gives us our holidays is Mente, and that just means mind control. So that's the first thing that should be said about the holidays. If we want to break it down and figure out what's true, if we don't want to believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, and we want to know actually what our traditions are and what our heritage is, and we want to know more about our ancestors so we could connect to them and allow them to be guides and guardian angels in our lives, as opposed to haunted spirits who create chaos for us and the 7 future generations. So yeah, big difference. So today we'll talk about the holiday of 12/31, or New Year's Eve they call it. So at the outset we say that the calendar is set by Caesar. It's Julius Caesar's calendar, right? It's the last Roman Empire. They said the Roman Empire died. The name of the beast might have died, but the beast, it's still alive and well. And just a quick glance at our calendar shows you that, because he who wins the war writes the rules, and that means the calendar and all the celebrations that we lend our energy to. It's important that because we're talking about a co-creative species, say the humans, and then a species that's probably a little bit more cut off from source, they need us to create for them. So that's the first thing about holidays is it's a harvesting of energy, and we can explore, in this case, 31 December. So the first thing, like this just always kill me. And I mean, I did it for years, but then at some point I just said, no more, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. So the first thing we do is we go get our nails done, right? We go get our wig split. We have makeup artists and we spend money on a special evening gown, or a certain pair of shoes or handbag or something, So we spend all this money to put a mask on ourselves and to put on very uncomfortable shoes and uncomfortable clothes. Not my idea of a good time, but anyhow, but it gets sort of, it goes on from there. So after the uncomfortable shoes and the mask and the uncomfortable clothes, what's next? Well, then we start drinking alcohol. Alcohol is poison. When it goes into your system, it turns into vinegar, and then it processes from there into sugar. And sugar is probably the deadliest drug on the planet Earth. It's the one more responsible for sickness and disease of the human body. And yeah, check it out, what sugar is. So yeah, so we poison ourselves essentially with sugar via the alcohol fermentation process in our bodies. Alcohol is also, it comes from an Arabic word, alcohol. It's two words, it's A-L-K-U-H-L, and A-L is like L in Spanish, you could say. It's like the way of saying Mr. Or he. And Kuhl, K-U-H-L, is the name of a genie who liked to attach itself to the human being so that it could have a carnate or physical experience. And the genie is nefarious for one, promising you a bunch of things that is not the genie's to give. You could say the original Baphomet, the great deceiver. And then when we partake of that, then we're left a little disappointed, let's just say, the hangover the next day, and you didn't get her phone number at the bar, or whatever, So yeah, a lot of alcohol stuff going on with all the holidays, but this one in particular. And so after the makeup and the mask and the shoes and the clothes and the alcohol, then we carry on like that, sort of way past bedtime, way past, like, if you're on the circadian rhythm, you're in bed, you're winding down. When the sun goes down, you go down. Yeah, that's the natural wave that the human would ride, if not for all this artificial light and buildings and cities and stuff like that. If we were all like out in the jungle or living in the country somewhere, we'd get more on a circadian rhythm, and we would find that we're happier and healthier. So yeah, stay up late. That's a good sign, right? Okay, so stay up late. It's cool. I'm not making any judgments. I'm just pointing things out. And then at the end of the night, now I don't know about everybody. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but I can talk about my experiences. So after all this, and you're dancing even in this uncomfortable outfit, and your mask, it's after so much alcohol goes into your body, the mask on your face becomes more sort of transparent. Like, I worked in a bar for 25 years, so I saw like one guy come in at 4 o'clock and another guy go out, totally different guy at midnight. That's what I mean by the mask, The nice guy's not there anymore. It's a very hurt person who's crying for help, and it's someone who's stuck in an arrested state of emotional development, and it's too painful to come out. And so rather than tear that down and start all over, They just keep their mask and suppress it with alcohol. Try to make it go away. So anyhow, that's my experience with alcohol. Alcohol was pretty much mandatory from as little as I can remember, like 3 years old till, when I finally, the light bulb went on and I said, oh, I better not drink this stuff anymore. And that was, I don't know, about 6 years ago, I think. Anyhow, so back to the 1231 thing. So we're all uncomfortable, we're all drunk, the mask is coming off, but we're trying our best to keep it on because there's lots of photos being taken and we want to make sure that, we don't look like the hurt children or the scary monsters that we feel inside that we are. And so that just carries on like that until then at midnight, right? According to Caesar, it's the time according to Caesar. So that's when you kind of mix and mingle with everybody in the room, and kiss and hug, each other. And again, going back to, I don't know who all these people are. I don't know how good they are at, psychic hygiene, and, I don't even know, who I'm mixing and entangling my energies with. Never mind 3D germs and little bugs, they call flu bugs. It is that time of year, isn't it, to spread the flu bug by hugging and kissing everybody. You see where I'm going with this? And then the last thing that just seemed so ridiculous to me was, like, after all this masquerading, after all this consumption of alcohol, all this being uncomfortable all night long, all this mixing and mingling with maybe quite dark energies, then I'm supposed to either, I believe at that moment, or sometime between then and that moment when you ring in the new year at midnight and the following day, I believe is generally when most people are encouraged, if not before New Year's Eve, they are encouraged to have, what is your New Year's resolution? And so it's at this time that you affirm your resolution for the year. I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to, whatever, fill in the blank, get more fit, go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. So probably not the best of times, if you're going to actually be strong in those resolutions, if we're going to have integrity in our intention. Probably that's the worst time, actually, to make any kind of resolution. So, but it's all good because Mente, mind control, the one who's responsible for this particular holiday, doesn't want you to get fit, doesn't want you to get healthy, doesn't want you to lose weight, doesn't want you to feel good about yourself. Doesn't want you to think too much. Did I say that? Yeah. So I hope you guys can kind of see where I'm going with that. Like, if you want to really and truly make a resolution and stick to it, you don't do it when somebody tells you to do it. Right? You decide. What the day and the hour and the minute, it really doesn't matter. It's entirely our choice. But to do so on a day that somebody else tells you to do it, I hope you can see how that's contrived, nefarious, and running in polar opposite to that which we say with our words that we actually want. If we want, to fill in the blank, and that's our resolution, then we make that. We make it for ourselves. Nobody makes it for us. And when we are contemplating that, you know, we contemplate it with integrity. We don't ply ourselves with poison and make ourselves feel uncomfortable and circle around dark energy. We never hold our resolutions. This is why. Because we're missing the path, the celebration, the fiesta, the holy day, the el dia sagrada, you know, whatever you want to call it. That's the purpose of the holiday, is to take away that which is sacred and give us something that is contrived, hedonistic, materialistic, deleterious, and in other ways bad for our planet, for ourselves, and for all the life that she sustains. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Father Sky. Thank you, rain. Here comes the rain to cleanse everything. Today is 31st of December. There's a lot of dark energy that needs to be cleansed, especially from this last several weeks. We even had Black Friday down here, so thank you, rain, for cleansing and cleaning. Thank you, water. And thank you, family, for listening to this. Stay tuned for the sequels. Namaste.